All right, today on the ropes, I have a special guest today. Today, my special guest is Coach Gary Dyer.
Greg, Greg, Greg,
Greg, I'm sorry, sir.
Greg Dyer.
Greg Dyer.
Yeah.
My friend Jamal, he has sent me your contact information. He had put Gary on
No, no, it's Greg.
there.
Yeah,
Sorry about that, Coach.
that's fine.
I wanted to talk to you today, Coach, about the June Rose program.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, the June Rose Memorial Boxing Club. It's a boxing club me and one of my partners formed. Right. Um, it's to memorialize his mom, who worked for the fire. Be quiet. I'm talking. It's to memorialize his mom, who's Rose. That's his mom, and she worked for the fire department for how many years? How many years your mom worked for the fire department?
Well, they retired her. She worked 17 years.
17 years with the fire department.
She's medically retired.
She worked down on 9/11. They medically retired her from the fire department as a result of her catching cancer from 9/11. So we wanted to memorialize her. And also, we wanted to memorialize my wife who died from cancer a year before Rose. Um, and my wife worked for the state insurance fund downtown Manhattan for over 33 years. So we wanted to do something in Brownsville or East New York, in this area, that we can open up a boxing gym because they both love boxing. Um, I trained Rose's son, which he got murdered down in Virginia some years back, and he was a very good fighter, And actually, he fought Demetrius Andre. He fought Demetrius Andre in Lake Placid in the Junior Olympics, and you know, he went and moved to Virginia, and something happened, and some guy killed him. And basically, we wanted to memorialize the two ladies. June is my wife, and Rose is his mom, and that's my partner. We opened up a nonprofit together, and basically, we wanted to do something in the neighborhood where we can basically. It's always been my thing to try to get as many kids off the street as we can. So that's where I'm at with it.
With that being said, Coach, how important is something like that with these after-school programs to keep the kids off the street? How important is it to have a safe haven where kids can go to not only, train their bodies and their minds, but to be away from the physical dangers that might be out there in the streets?
Well, for me, okay, I'll be 64 years old in August, God willing. Um, and for me, it's very important for me to know that I can take a kid, which, I've done, and I've got many kids that I've trained over the years. I've been training kids over 20 years. I can take a kid and basically turn his life into something that's positive. That's very important to me because when I was coming up, the only one I had to look up to was drug dealers and people that was just doing the wrong thing. Let me put it like that. That's what I had to look up to. Okay. And I don't ever want the kids that's coming up now, long as I'm alive, to have to look up to somebody like that. I want them to be able to say, you know something? I'm going to go to this here place over here and I'm going to learn how to box. Or I'm going to go over here to this after school center and I'm going to learn how to do some math. Or, that's very important to me. And my partner, he's also my partner. He just came out of the Air Force. He spent time in the Air Force. And, it's very important to both of us because that's his brother, the one that I trained that got murdered. That's his brother. And, like I said, it's very important to us.
Yeah, I definitely say those after-school programs like that are very important to the community, Coach, because I know down in the Baltimore area you have Umar, who has the program Books Before No what is it? Books Before Hooks. Books Before Hooks, where he has a program set up after school where they go through the homework and everything first, and then they go over into the gym side and get the boxing in. So it's
Right.
a combination of both a safe haven
Right.
and also a learning experience. Is
Yeah.
that something that you're trying to do, Coach?
Well, we have a gentleman that's going to be joining us once we get everything established. We have a gentleman that has already got a hook into the Department of Education. He's already doing after school with children as we speak, and he's teaching them math and helping them with the homework and different things like that. So he's going to be joining us as well. Once we get everything established, because we're basically new, and when you're new, you got to wait. And so basically that's where we are with it. I've gotten a lot of help from friends uh, from like Long Island and places like that, who I also work with like way back. They're older guys now. They got their own businesses and different things like that. Um, and when we started our program, a lot of them guys, man, they donate 1,000 here, 1,000 there, 500 here, 500 there. It just came out. They said, "Yo, Greg, you're doing a good thing. You've been doing it a long time. It's time for you to open up a gym." So they said, "Higgle something to help you out. With whatever you need. You need to get gloves, hand wraps for the guys, and different things like that. Higgle some money." And that's what they did. So we just basically right now we're waiting on the government to help out with us getting a place and establishing ourselves and different things like that.
With that being said, coach, or what you're trying to establish, are you getting help from the city council?
Um, I spoke with the Honorable Charles Barron, who's the assembly. He's the assembly person from from this district in the East New York section of Brooklyn. He's the assembly person, and his wife is the city council person. And we spoke with him, and he said, find a place where y'all can put a gym. He said, find a place, talk to the people, and he said, I'm going to help out where I can. That's what we got from him.
Oh wow. Yeah, let me ask you, coach, right now, just thinking about the amateur boxing scene in New York. What
Oh,
would
let me
you
move. They got the music playing kind of loud over there. Let me move away from it. Okay, say that one more time.
I was wanted to get your thoughts on the New York amateur boxing scene right now.
Right. Um. Well, basically, nothing has been going on for like the last year or so. But um, we have a lot of participation in New York. It's a lot of participation. When the pandemic hit, it shut a lot of stuff down. They're starting to slowly open back up now, and you know, I've been training even through the pandemic. I was out in the park where we got a lot of space. I'm out in the park right now, and there's a lot of space in this park. Let me just turn the camera and show you what I'm talking about, okay?
Okay.
See?
Oh yeah, you got a lot of space.
And it's a big track, they play soccer. Everybody get a chance to do what they want to do in this park, basically. And nobody interferes with nobody else, you know? It's a good atmosphere. And like I said, when the pandemic hit, I was out here and I had a bunch of kids. And I have a lot of kids now, and, some of them need weight loss and, some of them need to learn how to box. It's different things. But you know something? It's working. It's working. So as far as like the New York boxing, like I said, it's starting to come back now. You know, um, there's a little, I don't know, I don't know how to say. Well, there's a little favoritism going on, like in New York, like when it comes to like giving out like people that want to put on boxing shows.
Yes,
They
sir.
got a little, got a little favor. They favor a lot of people that like. I'm like, wow, they get damn near all the shows. Let me put it like that, Like, for instance, Gleason's Gym, they get damn near all the shows. And, I'm pretty tight with the president. I'm pretty tight with the vice president, you know, because I'm one of the people that they know I've been around a long time. And one thing about me, I read the boxing rule book. That's one thing about me. I read the rule book.
Yes,
And,
sir.
when I go to those meetings, they know they can't just throw anything at me. And I question different things, and you know but it's I don't know, like before the pandemic hit, like 2 years before that, they called me and asked me if I wanted to go to Copenhagen to take a team over there to fight. I said, yeah, I'll go. I'm retired. That's number one. So I can go anywhere. You know, I don't have nobody saying, oh, you got to be at work at this time or that time. So I went to Copenhagen and I took the team over there to fight. Then from Copenhagen, Saturday, we left Copenhagen, went to Sweden, and we fought over in Sweden on Saturday. And, we had a really nice time. It was a good experience, so I'm hoping that when they open up, we can start some, get that back to that and moving around and doing different things in boxing.
Oh, what? Hey, coach.
Yes, sir.
Just thinking about that, what you were saying, how you had to do what you had to do during the time of the pandemic, because
Right.
even like in our area, they had to be outside during that time. Was it
Right.
did you see it as a disadvantage, like when other places like Texas was still opening up?
Well, you know something? One thing about me, I don't worry about what other people do. I had to come out here and be out here in the open. I was not going in no gym. And there was gyms that was open in New York. Let me just tell you that. Although they was going in through the back door, I wasn't doing that. I was not going to, because when the pandemic hit, when it first hit, I tested positive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, when it first hit, I didn't have no symptoms. You know what I'm saying? I was asymptomatic. But twice after that, I tested 2 more times after that and tested negative. And then I took the vaccine. You know what I'm saying? And, like I said, I do, I follow my doctor's instruction. Let me put it like that. And I've been with my doctor for years. And he said to me, he said, listen, I just got over hepatitis C because I had hepatitis C. I took the medicine, that they provided, which cost almost over $100,000, and it cured my liver. I don't have the hep C in my liver no more. But he said, with the pandemic, it's best that you take the vaccine. So I said, okay, and that's what I did. I took the Pfizer vaccine and all that, And actually this Sunday, God willing, I'm taking my mom, who's 92 years old, to get her second shot, you know. So, it's a lot, I do a lot of stuff, man. But one thing about me, I love boxing, I really do. I love boxing, And the thing about it, I like working with the kids, because I've had pro fighters. I've worked with pro fighters, you know what I'm saying? But you know something? I don't care to work with them. I really don't. I've had Curtis Stevens. I don't know if you heard of him.
Curtis Stevens?
I worked, huh?
You said Curtis Stevens?
Yeah, Curtis Stevens from out of Brownsville.
Brownsville. Okay, yes, sir.
Yeah, I worked with Curtis when he first turned pro. When Curtis first turned pro, I'm the one that trained him. Everybody think somebody else trained him. I trained him. I don't know if you're familiar with Bruce Carrington. They call him Shoo Shoo. He's 2021 Olympic. He's on the Olympic team.
Yes, sir.
I started him when he was 7 years old. Okay, he started with me at 7. Anthony Irons, Golden Glove champion from New York. I had him. Quite a few guys that's like in the pro ranks now. I work with them, and most of us come out of the same gym. And I was the coach there, and a lot of the guys love the way I work with them and different things like that. So they used to ask me, "Yo, Greg, can you work with me?" And I, yeah, no problem. And you know, I never had a problem with working with somebody, regardless of who they are. And one thing about me, I don't never let race interfere with what I do. I don't. I never do that. I never will. I don't care who you are, where you're from. If this is what you like to do, let's do it. That's me.
Hey, coach,
Yes, sir.
how cutthroat is it when you're working with kids and someone wants to take all the hard work that you put into a kid? I'm quite sure that happens a lot.
It's funny that you asked that question because I've had that happen to me a number of times. You know what I'm saying? And to me, you can never take away what I do. You can take the fighter, you can, but you could never take away what I done, what I did, what I provided, because a lot of times I get them, they know absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? And basically, I don't play around when it comes to boxing training. I don't play around, and I don't allow them to play around. And like Bruce Carrington, the one that's on the Olympic team this year. Like I had him all the way up until the point where he was about 12, 13 years old. We worked together. And we traveled a lot of places to fight. I mean, St. Louis, Kansas City, we went a lot of places to fight. You know, we went over Jersey and did tournaments over in Jersey, and we was all together. And his father had other ideas. So he took him and went somewhere else with him. And I mean, that's your dad, you got to follow his rules, bottom line. And I don't feel no kind of way about it, because, even now, you know, um, you always remind people, yo, I started with Greg. Greg is a good trainer, blah, blah, blah. Don't let nobody ever tell you anything different. And, it's for me, it's never about ego. It's never about ego for me, you know. And when somebody walk away, hey, good luck, man. I hope you make it. And that's what I say to them. Nothing more.
In
Good luck. I
situations
hope
like
you make it. And if you need me to help you out, I will. You know.
in situations like that, coach, have there ever been a time where one of the kids came back?
Oh yeah, I've had amateur kids leave, come back. You know, and they just like, oh, I went over here and I tried something different, and it didn't work for me. You know, different things like that.
Hey, coach, how did you get involved with the sport of boxing?
Well, I was in prison for a very long time, and they had boxing team in prison. But before I went to prison, I was boxing out of the same boxing club where Eddie Mustafa Muhammad was, and a whole lot of very good boxers. And we all boxed out of the same boxing club. And the boxing club was in Brownsville called Howard Houses. And basically, I started down there at 12 years old, and I boxed down there up until I was 15 years old. And at 16 years old, I got convicted of homicide and went to prison. So when I got to prison, they had a boxing team. So of course, I got on the boxing team. So uh, I boxed in Elmira Correctional in New York State, and I won every tournament that they had. Every tournament, I didn't lose not one. And uh, they used to bring guys in from different, like Rochester, New York, Buffalo, and stuff like that. They had no chance against me. A lot of my guys that was in there with me that boxed, a lot of them didn't do good, but I had a lot of the fundamentals when I went there. And also, I was a good street fighter because I was in the street. So, you got to know how to fight. You got to know how to fight, especially like the time that I come up, because there wasn't a lot of guns around. Like now,
Yes, sir.
there's guns everywhere. When I was growing up, there wasn't a lot of guns. You had to know how to fight, and people will test you, and you had to fight. So basically,
Crazy
that's what it
part with
was.
these youngsters today, coach. You shoot somebody in the streets, but when you get to prison, it ain't no guns in prison. You gotta use some
Yeah,
hands.
that's true. Yeah, but they make the shanks in prison, and they call it a gun.
Yeah.
That's what,
Hey,
yeah,
hey,
really.
coach.
Yeah.
Do you know Valerie Cooper?
Say the name again.
Valerie Cooper, Roy Jones coach.
No, I never met him.
Okay, yeah, because he had a similar story when he went to prison like young though, like at 17 or something, and
Right,
Angola, down in Angola, and had like a championship team in prison.
right,
Yeah, very similar what you're talking about, coach.
right. Yeah, yeah. Those are some of my guys over there getting ready.
Now, what's the goals for you, coach? What's the
I'm
goals
sorry.
for you in your program?
Say that again.
What's the goals for you and your program?
Well, the thing about it is this here, right? I just want to get some of these kids to, grow up and everything like that, and figure out what they want to do in life and go do it. I mean, I got a couple of guys that I trained since they was young. One of them became a police officer in New York. You know, another kid I had, he's a F traffic controller. You know, and you know something, all of them they're not gonna be boxers. You know what I'm saying? They're not. You know, but my thing is do something positive. You know, figure it out. You know, and you know when I talk to them, and I talk to them about school. I talk to them about um, when you're working out, be dedicated. You know, different things like that. Don't try to take shortcuts because if you take shortcuts now, you're gonna take shortcuts in life. Bottom line, that's what I tell them. You know, and taking shortcuts in life will cost you. That's the bottom line. So, you know, for me, it's not about getting a pro fighter and making a whole lot of money. And it's not about that for me. Hold on for 1 minute. Young man, hello. Excuse me. Bend down. Scoop down. There you go. Now do it. Thank you. Yeah. So, you know, for me, it's like I said, it's not about making a whole lot of money. You know, it's about helping the kids as best I can, keeping them out of trouble, keeping them off the streets, keeping them away from drugs, and different things like that. You know, that's what it's about for me.
Now, Coach, do you find a lot of the professional fighters from the area coming back to give back?
Not at all. I'm glad you said that because the reason being, me and Danny Jacobs come out of the same gym. Okay, yeah, we come out of the same gym. I've worked pad work with Danny Jacobs at times and different things like that. Okay, Danny Jacobs' first ever national trip when he was 15 years old. I took him to his first ever national trip. Okay, I seen Danny Jacobs one day in Brooklyn, and I said to him, I said, "Yo, man, I need a pair of gloves for one of my kids." And he tried to give me some Model specials. I said, "Yo, these gloves is plastic." I said, "Take them back. I don't want those. I would never give my kids nothing like that." So I gave them back. I said, "Yo, my man." I said, "This is what you gonna give me?" I said, "I don't want those," and I gave the gloves back to him. You know, my thing is this here: a lot of guys that come out of these areas that get into boxing and they make it, they never think about coming back and saying, let's put something out here to help somebody else. Because, you know, a lot of them, they feel like, oh, I made it, so you got to make it, you know. But, you know, we all need somebody help. That's the bottom line. We all need somebody help,
Because
you know.
hey, Coach, because isn't Mike and Zab from the area?
Me and Zab Father is tight as anybody could be. Okay. Zab is my man too. Mike was out here last week, Thursday. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they do a lot of talking. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like Zab Father, I can call him up anytime I want to call him up. I can call him up and I can get some support from him. You know what I'm saying? If I need support from him, I know I can get it. You know what I'm saying? Like Mike, Zab, Zab is tight with Mayweather. So I'm trying to tell him, yo, hook into him, tell him about our program, okay? Whatever he help us out with, he can write it off in his taxes because we have a 501. We got a nonprofit. So if he helps out anywhere where we need help, he can write it off, whatever amount it is, you know? And, you know, it's just like everybody just forget, you know, they forget, you know? But somebody open up a door for you. That's, you know what I'm saying? That's my point to them. Somebody opened the door for you. Now it's time for you to open the door for somebody else.
Can you hear me, Coach?
Let me just turn this call off. I can't answer him. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had lost you for a second. I
Yeah,
didn't know
no,
if
you
you had.
didn't lose me. Somebody was calling in.
Oh, okay,
How y'all
okay.
doing, gentlemen?
How you doing?
All right.
So, from Coach, what's the
Yes, sir.
goals now from here to the end of the year for you?
Well, uh, I got like right now, I have a lot of new kids. A lot of them is new. So I'm trying to build them up to the point where I can enter them into little tournaments here and there, you know, little sparring matches or whatever, you know, just to see, you know, what it is they learn and how much of it is, you know, how much is they taking serious, you know, because when we out here and we're working, they look really serious about it. But, you know, when you got somebody in front of you throwing punches at you, it might be a different story. So, you know, that's basically what it is for me, you know.
You know, being involved with kids and troubled youth. Sometimes they can get involved with the streets. Coach, can you remember like what's one of the toughest things that you've been through being involved with this, and how did you overcome it?
What's the one of the toughest things that I've been through been in boxing?
Yes, sir.
Well, for me, um, I don't know. For me, and this is just for me, losing my daughter and my wife. I like really went through it. Hey, young man, how are you? Hold on for a minute. You're back, huh? How you feel? Yeah, I thought you loved boxing, huh? Oh, you was playing football? Okay, all right, go on over there. Okay, tell the coach you're here. All right. I got a guy that I'm training right now to be a coach.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because like I said, I'm getting ready to turn 64 years old. So somewhere along the line, I'm just gonna be an advisor, and you know, I still do pad work and different things like that right now. But somewhere along the line, I'm gonna stop doing that because I'm getting older.
So
So
basically, you want to leave it in somebody's hands that you can trust.
right, that has love for it like I do, you know, and they don't get into it just for money. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Hey, coach, how are the kids today compared to when you first got started?
When I started boxing,
No, working with the kids, as far as working with the kids in the beginning a few years
uh, the,
ago, as compared
the
to
kids,
now.
yeah, I know what you mean. The kids these days, they're very lazy. They'd rather be home playing the game, and
I
you
was
gotta really
wondering
push
that.
them.
I was
You gotta
wondering that.
really push them to work. You gotta really push them. You know what I'm saying?
And
So
it's everything to, you know, with the social media age, when to post on the gram. Do
right.
you find out a lot in the gym?
Well, yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, like I said, with the kids these days, I'm on the interview. I'll be right with you. Um, with the kids these days, um, you really have to like really push them, and you got to stay on top of them because they will try to take a shortcut on you. That's what you know. That's what they do. So as long as I'm like focused and I'm watching them and different things, they do what they have to do. You know, And what's important to me is like building up their stamina, making them run this field. Because the field is very big. So a lot of them don't like to run all the way around. So I tell them, do what you can, and then we build it up from there. Because that's what you have to do. You have to build yourself up to different things. So I don't know.
Do you find stamina being the biggest thing
Oh,
that's
stamina is
increased?
very important. Stamina is very important because I mean you can know how to box, but if you ain't got no stamina, knowing how to box don't mean nothing. So yeah, yeah, stamina is really important.
Hey, coach, who do you lean to for advice?
I'm sorry.
When it comes to the sport of boxing, who do you lean to for advice?
Wow. Well, I got I got quite a few people that I speak with, like the brother that used to be Danny Jacobs' coach, Andre Rozier,
Yes, sir.
good friend of mine. I speak with him. I speak with Zab Father. Um, you know, and they help me out with different pointers. Because I already know I don't know everything. I don't. And I don't try to act like I do. You know, so sometimes I may have a question about this or that, and I call them up, and you know, they help me out. So you know, so that's basically it for me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I gotta say, Coach, man, I truly appreciate your time today, man. Just letting people know about the things that you got going on.
Right.
Now, I definitely would love to do another one follow up in the future, man. If you got anything going with the
Okay.
kids,
That sounds like a plan.
I appreciate that, Coach.
Yes, sir. All right.
I got to make my way up there too.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, listen. Whenever you get a chance to come up here, man, just give me a holler. You got the number.
Okay, definitely will, Coach.
All right. We go out and have something to eat or whatever.
All right, I appreciate that, Coach.
All right, brother. Thank you.
All right, take care. There
All
you
right.
have it, Coach
Yes,
Greg
sir.
Dyer.
Yes, sir. Have a good
Appreciate
one,
it,
man.
Coach. All right,
Yep.
take
You
care,
too.
Coach.
All right. Be safe.
All right,
All right. Later.
later, Coach. All right, there you have it,
Okay.
Coach Greg Dyer. I mean, I truly appreciate it. On the ropes, we out.